It's art time, class. Today, we're going to be learning about shading with lines. Let's get started. Here you see different shading techniques that we'll be learning about today. First, we have hatching, cross-hatching, contour lines, stripling, scrumbling, squiggly, and then 3 different examples of blending. Go ahead and go into Google Classroom and select Shading with Lines assignment. You'll see the Cue Do Review here, the writing prompt, all the writing questions, and the expectations for writing listed there. Go ahead and open up the video to watch, and then once you're done, close out by clicking Done up here. Then you'll go to the form to fill out. Go ahead and open it up in Safari. Follow along with me. You'll need to enter your first and last name here. Be sure to capitalize your name. I'm going to put Art Time, but you need to put your first and last name here. Then today, let's say I'm a second grader for today. Go ahead and click your grade. And then at the bottom for your homeroom teacher, be sure to put your homeroom teacher. Don't put my name, put your homeroom teacher's name. For this example, I'm going to put class and click next. Then you're going to see the 4 questions for this week's activity. Hatching, cross-hatching, and contour lines, blank. Let's read the different options. Use straight or curved lines. Use dots. Use squiggly lines. Or can be any of the above. Well, let's look at the example here. Hatching, cross-hatching, and contour lines are not dot or squiggly lines. They're straight or curved lines. So let's click that. Next is stripling, which is probably the most unique of all the different techniques and the one that takes the longest to do. Let's see. Does it use straight or curved lines? Use dots? Use squiggly lines? Or can be any of the above? If I look really close, those are little bitty dots. So I'm going to put uses dots. Okay. Scrumbling and squiggly. Those are these guys, scrumbly and squiggly. They use straight or curved lines. No, those don't look straight or curved. They use dots. No, those aren't dots. They use squiggly lines. Okay. Can be all above. Nope. I think they're squiggly lines. And then the last question. Blending, blank, then is smeared to blend the shades. Blending can be any of the above. Then is smeared to blend the shapes. So that's this guy down here, blending. You have 3 different examples because they can use all 3 of those. They can use dots, squiggly lines, straight lines, curved lines. Let's go ahead and put can be any of the above. And then we'll click next. Then it's going to bring us to that writing prompt and all of the questions listed earlier. Let's go ahead and do our drawing and answer some of these questions together. So on our paper, we're going to put some important information on the first line here. You'll need a pencil to do this. Here's my pencil. My pencil. Oh, it's in my pencil box. Here I have lots of different pencil types. I'm going to use HB, an HB pencil. Ooh, I don't think I want to sharpen my pencil too. To sharpen your pencil, be sure to have a container for all the little pieces to go into, so your area stays nice and clean. Ooh, yeah. A nice sharp edge to do your best drawing. It's highly recommended. And I also have something else that I'll need, an eraser and something with a straight edge. Here I have a ruler, a triangular ruler. For our drawing, we're going to need to draw some straight lines to start. And you're going to draw at least one vertical line at least one. Oh no. My pencil. I need to sharpen it again. There we go. All right. So one vertical, one horizontal line, and a couple diagonal lines. And you can do more horizontal and more vertical lines as well, but you need at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different boxes. So right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's see, I'll have more than 7. That's okay to have extras. Let's do one more over here. And they can be random, but you want them to be straight. Okay? They can be, let's see if that doesn't go all the way across. That's okay. Let's see here. Now I'm going to fill in each area with one of these types of blending techniques. And I need to do hatching, cross-hatching, contour lines, scribbling, and squiggly, and blending. And then I have an extra couple boxes to do whatever I want. Or I can do another one. I can do like one of these twice if I want. Before I do that, I'm going to go ahead and put my important information on the top line. Be sure not to put art time as your first and last name. Please put your first and last name here. And then I'm going to put shading as my title. You can do shading with lines if you want. And then the date, today's date is 9/15. That's the day I'm recording this, 2020. All right, now I'm going to do some writing down here. Let's look at the questions so I can be thinking about the questions while I do my drawing. What type of shading techniques did you like the most? How did you use your favorite shading technique? Why did you add the details that you did at the end? And then the last one is rate your details and design instructions for others to follow along to create the same details. Ooh, that's like a super high level question right there. It's like a GT question. Now I only need to answer answer one or more questions below. So I don't have to do all of the questions, but I have to answer at least one of them in my writing. And since I put second grader, the second grader's expectation for writing is to have 2 sentences with at least 1 vocabulary word. Okay. Let's see here. So I'm thinking about those questions while I'm doing my drawing. And I'm going to go ahead and do contour lines on this one right here. So a contour line is when you draw lines to make up a form. So I'm doing curved lines that get longer and wider apart as they go up. So I want them to be darker in one corner. Like all these are dark in one corner to show value. I'm going to go back and do a couple layers. All of these are with a curved line. Sometimes the line goes all the way across. Not in all cases. The line I'm doing right now, it doesn't even go all the way across. I'm doing really lightly. Okay. All right, so I got that one done. Let's do cross-hatching next. Cross-hatching, let's do that over here. We'll do that in this corner. So cross-hatching and hatching are very similar. Hatching is when you do just one set of lines, and then cross-hatching is when you do more than one set of lines in like another direction, making it like a cross shape. I'll go back here. So I went one way. Right now that's hatching. I'm going to make it cross-hatching. So I'm not done yet. I want to make this a little darker in the corner because that's my dark corner. It's my lighter corner. All right, now I'm going to make it cross-hatching by going in another direction. I'm going to go. And as I'm going away from the darker corner, it's going to get lighter. There's going to be less lines. I'm going to go back and do another layer. I'll help make this nice and dark right here. I can do more than just 2 different directions. I could do a whole bunch of different directions if I wanted. That's the beauty with cross-hatching, is you can do a bunch of different directions if you'd like. I like that. And I think just above it, I'll go ahead and do hatching just to have that fun variety. I'm going to do the dark corner up here. Ooh, for this, I'm going to use my straight edge. That's going to make it look even nicer. And the line is going to get farther apart and lighter as we go out because I want this to be my dark corner right here. So since that's my dark corner, I'm going to go back and do even more lines right there. Ooh, you can see I made a little mistakes right there. That's okay though, because I'm going to go over it so much you're not even going to be able to see it. The beauty of art, you can just go right on top of it and people won't even know you made a mistake. Ta-da! So really important when you're doing these shading techniques is your control of pressure on your pencils. You want to brush too hard, you want to brush too lightly. There you see it's really dark over here. I went over those lines over and over, really made it nice and dark. So it's dark and then lighter as it comes out. Yay! All right, so the one that takes the longest is stripling. And stripling is tiny little dots. And I'm going to do, let's see, I'm going to cut this one in half. So it has a smaller area so I can save us a little time. I'm going to make this our dark corner right here. And you want to be careful to press not too hard. You want to press fairly lightly when you're doing this. I mean, it takes a long time. I know a lot of younger students, especially the kindergartners and first graders, you're going to want to go like this and press really hard, thinking that will make it go faster. No, so please don't do that. You should barely be able to hear like a light tapping. You should not be able to hear a hard tapping. If you can hear the pencil tapping across the room, you're probably pressing too hard. So I definitely recommend your smallest area being this one. And keep in mind your lines can be in different directions. You want your guidelines to be straight, but they don't have to be the way I did mine. You want one vertical, one horizontal, one diagonal, and then more. A couple more. Another thing with this one, it's really hard not to create little dashes. I don't know if you guys can see that, but a few of these are like tiny little dashes instead of being little dots. Like you see some dots and then you see some dashes. Those dashes is I'm not picking my pencil up soon enough. I'm starting to go out. I go like this instead of just going up and down. So this is probably one of the harder ones. Just because it takes so long to do and you end up wanting to make dashes instead of little dots. But it ends up looking really cool, and I actually have something to show you guys later in the year where I see a museum installation. I took a video of it to show you the use of stripling in art installations. So it's pretty cool. All right, next is scrumbling. So scrumbling and squiggly are really similar. They're both like really organic, movie, squiggly kind of type lines. Scrumbling is more circly, And scribbly is more of like all over the place. Let's see, I'm going to do this square here, scrumbling. Now the beauty of these two techniques is you get a softer feel. So I know a lot of students had talked about texture in their first few writings. And this is a way to make your values, the different shading values that you're going to be doing in the upcoming drawings, look softer. So like trees, you'd want this to be, you want to use this on like trees, animals, if you're doing like drawing a kitty cat or a dog and you want to give them like soft looking fur. Scrumbling is the way to go. If you're doing like a volcano erupting, I would definitely do squiggly. That has this like action to it, because it has not just the circular motion, it really adds that diagonal motion too when you're doing the art. All right, keep in mind you don't want to press down hard on your paper. You don't want to do it hard. All right, that's looking great. Look at all this value. Oh, I love this effect. It makes it feel just like, loving it. Next one is squiggly. So again, that's a lot like scrumbly, but instead of just a whole bunch of circles, it's going to be like figure 8 going all over the place. Crazy. Let's do it over here. Which one? I'm thinking I'm going to do the dark corner. Let's do it right up here. Ooh, actually, I want to do the dark corner over here. I think that'd be even cooler. This one might be my favorite. Just because it allows me to make mistakes. Like, I can change my mind. Oh, it's a little hard as I go off the edge of the paper. And this one's faster. I think I like it faster too. And if you ever had a teacher being like, why is this all scribbly? And be like, I'm squiggling. It's a shading technique. It's an artist's choice. So be respectful. And then you can pull out this and be like, see, it was an artist's choice. Can't you tell? Ooh, that's looking great. Every time I look up at the screen, I'm like, oh yeah. It's looking cool. All right, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 more areas to fill up. We need to do at least one of them blending, and then the others we can do whatever it is we want. So with blending, it can be any of them. Here's it with like straight lines, here's it with squiggly lines, and here's it with stripling, which is like those little bitty dots. Let's do more squiggly lines right here. And then something handy dandy you'll need to make it blending is either a tissue paper or a paper towel. You're going to wrap your finger and you go blend, 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 blend. And you're just rubbing it, kind of pushing it down. You'll see that? Pretty magical, right? And you can see the leftover on here. All right, all right. Over here, let's do some more contour lines. And I'm going to do similar to these contour lines and blending, but the opposite direction of the curved line. I'm going to give it a really cool effect. And you'll see this technique. We're going to do this again on a later project in the school year. Another drawing we're going to be doing. Curve, curve. Notice all the direction of the lines. 2 weeks ago, we had a drawing where we practiced drawing grass, and it had a direction, like going up. Very similar to that. Contour lines. So all the lessons are connected to each other. There's a reason we do each lesson. They build off of each other. All right, so now that I'm done with that, I'm going to go back with my blending tool. I'm going to use this tissue paper. Wrap it around my finger. I could also wrap it around the end of my pencil. Let's try that one for this. And I want to blend with the lines. So the direction that you're blending, the direction that you're doing your drawing makes the difference. It's starting to blend together. It gives it like a softer feel. Like say you were going to do the sky and you wanted to put in some clouds, and underneath the clouds it was darker from shadows and stuff. The shade of the clouds, you would just do a little blending on them and it'd give it a really nice soft feel. Very nice. All right, I've got 2 more areas. I'm going to do the stippling right here. Let's do this area. You do not need to do all the 3 different blending techniques. I'm going to do them for you just to show you as the example, but you need to do at least 1 blending. A lot of dots over here. Is it that darker? Right, and now I'm going to go back with my blending technique. Wrap around my finger. Let's make it nice and soft. Ooh, very pretty. And the last one, it can be whatever you want. I'm going to do a pattern. What pattern should I do? Let's do heart. I'm going to do my dark corner right here. So I'm going to do a bunch of little bitty hearts. And then over here, I'll do like even more hearts, and I'll make them bigger and lighter. To do a heart, you're basically doing the number 2, but without finishing that line right there. You'll just do a number 2, and then a backwards number 2. That's how you make your heart. When you get really fast, I kind of end up going like this, and I have a little line in between them. Ooh, I'm loving the way this looks as I layer all the hearts on top of each other. It's getting darker. Loving it. Notice all my hearts are facing the same direction. Direction's super important. It's a choice when you choose for them to change directions or be the same direction. You can really see the difference over here with these lines, those contour lines. Keep in mind that contour line, that's going to be very, very handy in our next drawing assignment next week. We're going to really, really focus on contour lines next week. Like I said earlier, all the lessons build on each other. So it's going to get a little harder and harder every week. Oh, I love it! Hearts, hearts, hearts. It just looks like a field of butterflies popping up. All right, now to do the writing. So I said in my form I was a second grader. Second graders write 2 sentences, at least with 1 vocabulary word. And the different vocabulary words this week are line, hatching, cross-hatching, contour lines, stripling, scrumbling, blending, and squiggling. Squiggly, squiggly, squiggly. My question, I'm going to answer, what type of shading techniques did you like the most? And I have sentence stems here. You can follow or you don't have to follow them. You can do your own sentences. It's up to you. I want to go ahead and follow the sentence stems, since a second grader would probably follow that. I like scribbling. And see, I have the word spelled correctly right here. So I want to be sure I spelled it correctly. Scumbling. scribbling, scribbling, shading. Oops. Spelled my word there. I have it spelled correctly right here, so I gotta make sure it's spelled correctly on here too. Technique. Oop. There we go. Because it is fast and fun. How did I use my favorite shading technique? I added scumbling to blend and create value. Awesome! If I want to be super fancy, I could even underline some of our art words like scumbling, shading. Here's scumbling again, blend, that's an art word, value, that's an art word. And here I go. Now I need to submit my work. So down here, I'm going to go to submit, and that's for the form. Now that I'm done with the form, I need to actually submit a picture of my artwork and my writing to get credit for all my hard work. So down here, I'm going to click this and scroll up. I need to add an attachment, and I'm going to add a photo. So I need to take a picture of this. Ooh, hold on. I want to get my writing in one picture. I'm going to do a second picture of just like the drawing, because I can do more than one attachment. Go ahead and let the first picture load. And I have had students send me several different pictures of just the writing and then the drawing, and you can totally do that if you feel you need to, or have it all in one picture. It's kind of up to you. I'm going to add another attachment. Use the camera. I'm going to turn it this way. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, and I've been collecting all these pictures. They're so cool looking, guys. I'm making a really nice, fun slideshow to put on YouTube to share out everyone's so cool drawings. This last landscape drawing, oh my gosh, this kindergartner did such an amazing job. There's actually like a couple kindergartners and first grader drawings that I'm so excited to share because they really added a bunch of color and cool details. Like, they're so cool. And I'm going to share them with you guys. All right, so I need to go ahead and submit this. So click turn in and then turn in one more time. And down here at the bottom, I can see that it's submitted. We did it. Whoa, whew. That was a long video. Thank you guys so much for sticking around with me, because this drawing, I mean, it takes some time, but oh, it looks so cool. And I love how we used all these different techniques: hatching, cross-hatching, contour lines, stripling, scrumbling, the wiggly, and the blending. Till next time, class, keep being creative.